This piston trap opens up whenever someone walks over it, and anyone who lands on this fake water will be eliminated. Here's 50 ways you could trap stack players. When someone chases me up the sky bridge, I'm gonna run through the portal and quickly do the parkour. Then when someone's standing on this ledge, I'm gonna shoot at the target, and these slime blocks are gonna push them off. They may think they're gonna land on the water, but little do they know it's glass. A guy in full netherite was chasing me up the bridge, and he was running quick. So I decided to chuck a pearl and try to shoot him with my bow, but he deflected every arrow with his shield. So I just kept running up, and we were getting close to the trap. I ran right through the portal, made the first jump, and then made it to the second too. I turned around and he was waiting, so I shot it and he got bounced off. He went straight for the water, but he was eliminated to fall damage. When someone falls into this trap, they're gonna think they're safe, but then shulker boxes appear. That's because in Minecraft, entities don't spawn in when you're 50 blocks away. So that means anyone who falls in is gonna be eliminated. I was in the nether and two guys were chasing me. All I had to do now was get them over to the trap, but we were running on a mountain. It was super scary because if you fall off, you're in the lava and you're done. But I ended up making it over, jumped over the trap, and the other two fell in and were eliminated. I'm gonna get people to chase me into this trap, and when I jump down, I'm gonna hold W into this corner and land in the powdered snow. But anyone else who falls in is gonna be eliminated. I got a guy to chase me into the frozen ocean, and it looked like he was flying, but he was also doing a lot of damage. So right when I got out, I ate a golden crapple. Right after I ate it, I ran over to the trap and jumped in, held W, and landed in the powdered snow. Then the other guy followed, and he took 0 fall damage. He was hacking. I saw him flying around me, and I was trying to fight back, but I ended up dying. So I came back and froze it. Now, whenever someone subscribes, he's gonna have to find a new zombie with your name on it. This is what it looks like when 10 people sub at once. This is the sickest trap. I'm gonna bait people to follow me down this hole, and this is a Dripleaf. If you stand on this for too long, you're gonna fall down this whole entire thing and get eliminated to fall damage. Let's try to bait as many people as possible. There was 2 guys on boats, and they were both chasing me. Once I made it to the shore, I pearled up towards the trap, and they both followed. I was fighting one up there until the other one made it, so then I jumped down the trap, and they both fell down right to the bottom. So then I jumped down my drop down to the bottom, and not only were they alive, but they were flying. I was super confused and ended up dying. Since they were hacking, instead of just banning them, I decided to TP them into a box and had them fight to the death. The winner stays unbanned. So they started fighting normal, but it got real hectic real quick. One of them started flying and the other one used speed hacks. They were going so quick that they barely hit each other until one of them tried to spleef the other, but ended up falling down. And for some reason, he got eliminated to fall damage. When someone chases me, I'm gonna place down a pressure plate right here, run over it, and this huge fence gate trap to bedrock's gonna come out. And anyone who falls down is gonna be eliminated. This guy was chasing me and we were almost at the trap. He hit me down the hill and I MLG'd, and then I turned around to fight. We were doing like equal damage until he started spamming harming potions. This took down my hearts really quickly and I got a little bit scared. So I pearled at the fence gate trap, placed down the pressure plate, turned around, and I saw him fall right in. I'm gonna be waiting in this base with no armor. Whenever someone walks through this door, I'm gonna click this lever and all these pistons are gonna come up, which means they're gonna fall right down this hole. And anyone who falls down is gonna be eliminated. I saw this guy coming in on a boat and he pearled up the hill. So I started twerking to taunt him, but he got a lot closer. I made a run up the hill, and when I turned around, he was like 10 blocks behind me. So I booked it into the house, and once I made it in, I closed the door and waited. I saw him come up near the window and he went through the door. So I clicked the lever, the blocks came up, and he fell all the way down. This is the biggest fall trap on the server. And my only goal is to try and trap as many stack players as possible. And anyone who falls into it is gonna be eliminated. This guy was chasing me and he was doing damage. So when we got close to the trap, I knew I had to finesse him. I let him hit me in, and then I turned around and pearled behind him. He thought I already fell in, so all I had to do was smack him in. I thought he was gonna die, but then he clutch pearled and survived. Since I was on cooldown for my ender pearl, I jumped down and I landed a boat clutch. Then we started on fighting. This fight was gonna take a while, so I started placing down obsidian and placing end crystals on top. It wasn't working until one time I did it and it exploded me and I died. This guy was chasing me and we were almost at the trap. He hit me and I almost fell off the bridge, but we ended up making it across. Then I threw an ender pearl and he followed. I landed, broke all of the blocks, and my enemy fell all the way down and was swallowed by the lava. When I throw a pearl over this mountain, I'm gonna land in a trap, place a block on the wall, and hopefully everyone else falls down to the bottom and gets eliminated of fall damage. So I got this guy to chase me, and I was already low. So I jumped off the mountain and landed in the water. He followed, and we started a fight in the water. It was time to trap him. So I threw an ender pearl over the mountain, and he followed. I landed on the side, and he managed to hit me mid-air. This made me fall all the way down with him, but I threw a clutch ender pearl and survived, and he was eliminated to fall damage. I was playing on my SMP when my biggest enemy just kept on killing me. It was time for revenge, so I took out the god armor. Then I looked on the map and tried to find his base. After an hour of searching, I finally found this guy's base, and it was a castle. I waited outside for a bit until he left, and once he did, I went up to the front door, clicked the button, and this super cool piston door let me in. When I went inside, I was so surprised. It was beautiful in there. But then I noticed he had a big chest room, and that was the perfect place to build a trap. I mined it all out, replaced the blocks up top, went above his door, and waited. A couple minutes later, he came back, and he didn't even notice I was standing there. This was my time, so I jumped down, went over to him, spleefed him, and he fell down, tried to clutch, but he was eliminated. When I walk into this house, nothing's gonna happen, and that's because I'm wearing leather armor. But anyone who walks into here without leather armor is gonna sink through and get eliminated to fall damage. I was in leather armor, and this guy was in diamond, so every time he hit me, he would do so much damage. I was running up the hill to the base, but then he pearled in front. If I didn't act quick, I was gonna die. So I pearled towards the base, and I closed the door behind me. So then he opened the door, walked in, and sunk right through the floor. I don't think he died, so I took off the leather and I threw on some netherite armor. I jumped down and I hit a water bucket and I started to fight. But then I realized I had way better armor, so all I had to do was take it on an end crystal, explode it, and then he was eliminated. When I jump down this 1x1, I'm gonna land in water. But anyone else who comes down, they're gonna trigger the trap and get eliminated. I baited this guy in diamond while I was wearing gold armor, so he was doing a lot of damage. To slow him down, I tried to place blocks, but it made me even slower. But then we got past the tree and I actually slowed him down. At this point, I was super low, so then I made it over to the trap, leaned over, and he smacks me right in. The trap was triggered and ready to go. All he had to do was jump down, and then he did. So then the trap pulled and he was eliminated. This trap is OP. When I get someone to chase me into this water, I'm gonna go back out, switch to boots with the Frostwalker enchant, and when I walk over this water, it's gonna turn to ice, which means the person down there is gonna be trapped and they're gonna drown. This guy came zooming in on a boat and we started to fight. I hit him with my crossbow and went up on the iceberg. Then I turned around and he was behind me. So I jumped down and I was getting super low. Then I dove into the lake and he hit me one last time before I made it out. Then I put on the Frostwalker boots and I trapped him in. 10 seconds later, he was eliminated. Whenever someone chases my pearl, they're gonna land in this trap and fall all the way down into Cobweb. And then I'm gonna jump down this hole into this water and I'm gonna spam end crystals until they're eliminated. I was fighting this guy near the trap and I knew I had him. But then he started to do a lot of damage. So I started to run and then I chucked a pearl. He followed, but I block clutched on one heart and he fell all the way down. I healed up and jumped down into the water. He was trapped in the cobwebs. So I placed down 2 end crystals around him and he was eliminated. Whenever someone chases me through this cave, they're gonna get trapped. When I get over to this lever, I'm gonna pull it and they're gonna fall all the way down. And if they survive, I'm gonna pull this lever and trap them in. And then I'm gonna bow them to death. 21 Savage was chasing me through the forest, so I knew I had to trap him. Right as I went to pearl at the trap, he hit me with a poison arrow. And then I couldn't find him. But then when I turned around, he was there. Then I ran into the cave and he followed. And right when I got to the edge, I pulled the lever and he fell straight in. I jumped down the drop down, clicked the lever so he was trapped, and I started shooting. I was definitely doing damage because when he tried to pearl through the slab, I hit him one more time and he was eliminated. I'm gonna bait someone into this hallway and then I'm gonna jump over this 1x1 of lava. And then when I get over, I'm gonna place a slab here and some water so that the next person falls in and gets suffocated in obsidian. This guy was chasing me and then hit me into lava. So I placed down some water to get rid of the fire and started running. But I realized I needed that water for the trap and I took some water from the well. And I also stopped there to ring the bell and taunt him. Then I pearled towards the hallway and placed a block to slow him down. I jumped over the lava pit and placed a slab and waited for him to come. And just as I thought, he fell straight in. So I placed the water and placed a block over his head and he was suffocated. All I had to do now was jump down there and crit him out. Until when I got down there, he was swimming. I don't even know how he did this, but he was able to hit me back. I was taking a lot of damage, but I knew if I crit him out right now, he would be eliminated. I'm gonna have someone chase me into this hallway. Then I'm gonna jump over this hole and place a slab here. And then whoever follows me is gonna fall into this obsidian pit. I'm gonna go down to this hole over here and spam place beds until they're eliminated. I was getting chased throughout the nether and I was taking hearts, so I pearled across towards my trap. All I had to do now was run across and just place a slab down, and that's exactly what I did. Then he fell in, so I jumped down and placed the obsidian above his head. Once I was ready, I had as many beds as I could carry. Then I just started spamming them until he was eliminated. I said my chords in chat and this guy found me. He started sneaking around the trees and he was falling for the fake skin. He peeked out one side and then peeked out the other side, and then he finally went for it. Then I put on my armor and hit him at the same time and he fell down. I looked down and he was still alive, so I ate a crapple and then I pearled down. We were fighting for a little bit, but I ended up eliminating him with half a heart. When people chase me into this little cave, I'm gonna drop down onto the Dripleaf and get off as soon as possible. Then I'm gonna place a slab here so that anyone else that falls down gets eliminated to fall damage. This guy was chasing me and had a weird helmet on, and when he hit me with an arrow, I was given slowness. This guy was super stacked, so I pearled towards the cave, jumped down and placed the slab, and he fell all the way down. I was super low, so I ate a golden crapple and I jumped down. I thought I was gonna die, but then I clutch pearled and he was still down there. I was on 1 heart, so I ate a god apple. Thank God I had one on me, because this allowed me to win the fight and quick drop him. I made this parkour, and when you get to the final jump, you sink through all the way down into this trap. This is the powdered snow parkour trap. I was running up this ice mountain and I had a guy chasing me. He did insane amounts of damage, so I threw a pearl at the top. He kept on chasing, then I jumped off the mountain and boat clutched. But I also switched my boots to leather, so when I did the parkour, I wouldn't fall through, but he would. He fell all the way down the trap, but he lived. So I took out a water bucket and jumped all the way down. I landed the MLG and we started fighting, but then he had end crystals. So I put on my elytra and I made it out with 1 heart. I flew into a cave and drank a strength potion. But when I pearled back down to the bottom, this guy started lighting TNT. I tried to build up, but the TNT landed on me and did half my hearts. Then he jumped on me and we fought. Luckily, I drank that strength potion because it only took 2 hits to eliminate him. When I run down this hallway, people are going to chase me. And when I turn this corner, I'm going to pull this lever and a whole bunch of concrete's going to fall down. And hopefully they start suffocating. I had 2 guys chasing after me and I was leading them straight to the trap. As we got closer, I placed down an end crystal to scare them. It didn't do much, so I pearled into the hallway and they both chased. I clicked the lever and all the concrete fell. One got trapped, so I mined over the top of him to the other one. I blocked up the rest of the hallway with obsidian and then set off an end crystal, but it blew up all the concrete so the guy stopped suffocating. Then I focused up on the other one and continued to fight. We were fighting for a little bit, but I think I had better armor because I quick dropped him. I'm gonna pearl over this mountain onto this pearl catcher, fall all the way down, and I'm gonna survive. I purposely made it so it's a short faller so that I could come down after, place down end crystals, and eliminate him. I had 2 guys chasing me and they were 100 blocks away from the trap. One of them had a trident and he just kept throwing it at me. Once we got close enough, I chucked a pearl over the mountain and I landed in the faller. So I went to the corner, took out a water bucket so I would land with no fall damage. Then I started spamming end crystals on the ground, and the first guy that fell down got eliminated immediately. I saw the other guy stuck in the air, so I placed one under him, clicked it, and he was eliminated too. End crystals are OP. Let me show you why. Whenever someone follows me into this cave, I'm gonna hit them into this trap right here, and hopefully they fall all the way down. And then I'm gonna go down this little hole right here, start spamming end crystals until they all blow up. These 2 guys were chasing me and shooting me with poison arrows. I was taking hearts, but I placed some cobble to slow them down. While they were throwing tridents at me, I kept on running. Then I made it into the cave, jumped over, and turned around. They both fell in, so I jumped to the bottom and spammed end crystals. I thought they were both dead until the other one fell back down. Then I just kept on spamming them until he was eliminated as well. Over here, I have a trap. If you look down into the trap, it looks like it's all water, maybe with some ice too. But if I jump over here and hold W on this wall, I'm gonna land in water and anyone else is gonna land on top of these chests. I was on my SMP and 3 guys were chasing me in boats. If you didn't know, on ice, you move so quick. So I hit a drift and got out and started running. They all chased and all I had to do now was get them to the trap. Once we made it there, I dropped straight down. They all followed. 2 of them landed on the invisible chest and got eliminated, but 1 survived. I tried to trap him in the corner with obsidian, but I guess I just did too much damage because I ended up quick dropping him. There's a trap in this house. When I walk through this door, I'm gonna jump down this drop down and hold W in this corner. I'm gonna land in this water, which is only 1 pixel wide, and everyone else is gonna land on this blue stained glass. I had 3 guys chasing after me, and then they chucked poison potions at me. I quickly placed down my water bucket. Then I milked the cow and drank the milk so that the poison would go away. All I had to do now was get them in the trap. I walked in the house and got hit in the trap, so I held W and lived. And then all 3 of them fell down. The first guy died, and then the second did, but the third one lived. So I crit him out until he was eliminated. When I get people to chase me into this cave, I'm gonna place down a pressure plate, step on it, and when the trap opens, anyone following me hopefully falls down and gets eliminated. This guy was chasing me and we were right next to the cave. I landed an MLG water bucket and got a face full of mobs. I turned around and tried to block it up, but he was too close. So I placed down the pressure plate and he fell right in. Then I jumped down and grabbed all his loot. I was playing on my SMP when my biggest enemy kept on killing me. So to get revenge, I disguised as an e-girl. I pulled up to his castle and he had a bow ready to kill me. But then he opened up the gates and let me in. He led me downstairs, and at this point I realized I successfully infiltrated his base. When we got down to the bottom, there was an aquarium. But if you remember from last video, I blew this all up. Then he showed me his bedroom. I played along and we started to sleep. Little does he know, he's sleeping with a dude. Then in the morning, he put on his armor and left the room and went to the Nether. I had to act quick, so I checked all his chests until I could find a pickaxe. Then I went over to the beds, broke them all, and started to dig down. Once the hole was made, I placed the beds back and waited. Finally, he came back through the Nether portal and brought me a withered rose. Then we both started to sleep, so I left the bed and broke his, and then he fell all the way down and was eliminated. I'm gonna bait people into this cave and jump over this hole, and anyone who follows is hopefully gonna fall down. Then I'm gonna jump down this 1 by 1 into water, and then I'm gonna pull this lever and they're gonna be suffocating. I kept throwing my trident at this guy while he chased me, and it annoyed him. Then I went up on this mountain and jumped across to a floating island. He was on my tail, so I jumped down and MLG water bucketed, but he landed and took some hearts. All I had to do now was make it into the cave. Before I got in, I placed some cobblestone down to slow him down. Then I jumped over the trap and he fell right in. I wasted no time, so I jumped down into the water and I clicked the lever. He was trapped, but somehow he started swimming. This guy must be Michael Phelps because there was no water in sight. He was doing some damage, so I rearranged the trap and made it so he couldn't hit me. Then I ate a golden crapple and started hitting him from a better angle. After around 10 hits, he was eliminated. When you look down into this hole, it looks like there's water here, but if you hold W on this side, you're gonna land on some honey. But anyone else who falls down is gonna be eliminated. I had a death squad chasing after me, so I threw a speed potion down and started zooming. Then I built up and started L dancing on them to get them angry. Then one pearled up and hit me down, so I continued to run towards the trap. Once I got there, I jumped down and landed on top of the honey, but everyone else landed on the fake water. Only one survived, and all I had to do now was eliminate him. So I placed down an end crystal, blew him up, and then one tapped him. I'm gonna jump into this water and swim across. And when I get to the other side, I'm gonna jump out and switch my boots, so I put on Frostwalker. Then I'm gonna stand above the person. Then I'm gonna fill in the 2 holes with ice and watch them drown. I had 3 guys chasing after me and they were all falling for the trap. I jumped underwater and all 3 of them chased. I got out, put on the boots, and then all the water turned to ice, so they were stuck under there. I had them stuck for a little bit, but then one of them managed to make it out. While fighting him, I was trying my best to keep them both stuck underwater. Then 2 of them drowned, so I went underwater again and he chased. I literally did the same exact thing. I got out of the water, put on the Frostwalker boots, and he was trapped again. This guy was pretty dumb because 20 seconds later, he drowned as well. I'm gonna have people chase me, and then when they come over these leaves, I'm gonna whip out my shears and spleef them down. And when they fall down, hopefully they get eliminated. I was already super low when this guy was chasing me, so I needed to trap him quick. He hit me again and I was down to 1 heart. So I took out my shears and spleefed him, and just like that, he was eliminated. I'm gonna get people to chase me into this water trap, and when I land down here, everyone's gonna think that they're safe as well. But when they jump down, I'm gonna place a sponge and get rid of all the water. I had a full stack player squad chasing after me, so I placed down a boat and I skirted off. After drifting off the ice, I kited towards the trap. Once I made it there, I jumped straight in. Immediately I placed the sponge and all the water was gone, and one of them died. The rest of them survived, so I kept spamming end crystals, and after a bit, 2 of them died as well. The last guy was super low, so I ended him off the good old-fashioned way. Today, I'm trapping in leather. Whenever I run over this powdered snow, I'm not gonna fall in. That's because on Minecraft, if you're wearing leather, you do not fall through powdered snow unless you're shifting. But if you walk through with any other armor, you sink through and you fall all the way down. I was in leather, so this guy was doing a ton of damage. Then I placed down a boat and the guy jumped in. Once I got to the ice, I jumped out of the boat and potted a speed and booked it. I ran over to the trap and then he fell for it and fell right to the bottom. Then I put on my netherite set and then clutch pearled on the way down. We started to fight, but then I had a smart idea. I trapped him in between bedrock bedrock and obsidian. And all I had to do now is crit him out until he was eliminated. When someone chases me, I'm going to bring them over this concrete and jump down here. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of TNT under here. And when I break it all the concrete is going to fall, and whoever's standing on top is going to be eliminated. Two guys in netherite armor were chasing me, and they hit me with a slow-moving arrow. This made it so they were able to keep up. I tried to slow them down with blocks, but he had harming potions. Then I ran on top of a tree and booked it for the trap. They were both following. So I jumped down, turned around, and destroyed as much TNT as possible. The concrete fell, and both of them fell in. One was eliminated with fall damage, so I ate a crapple and pearled down. Immediately, he threw harming potions at me, and I used an end crystal. The trap was blown up, and I placed down another one, and he was eliminated, and I survived on 1 heart. This is the best trap on Minecraft. I'm gonna jump over this powdered snow, and anyone who follows me is gonna sink in. Then I'm gonna go into my secret compartment right here, pull this lever, and anyone stuck inside is gonna be suffocated. This guy was chasing me, and then he hit me into some lava. I quickly placed a water bucket and chucked a pearl towards this mountain. He followed, and we both built up. But then out of nowhere, he somehow made it to me, and I think he was flying. But I still ran towards the trap, and I jumped off, and I failed my MLG. I survived on half a heart, and he was right behind me. He was doing damage, so I ate a golden crapple and ran towards the trap. We were at the trap, so I climbed the hill, jumped over the powdered snow, and he fell straight in. Then I went into the room, clicked the lever, and now he was trapped. This trap is supposed to be inescapable. But then out of nowhere, he flew up, and he was behind me. Then he eliminated me. So I TP'd back and froze him. Now he's in a bedrock box. Every time someone subscribes, a zombie will spawn. And if he doesn't defeat all of them by the end of the month, he's going to be banned forever. This is what it looks like when a bunch of people sub at once. When I run up these stairs, I'm going to fall down this one by one, hold W on the left, land in this water, and everyone else is going to be tricked by this fake glass. I was on my horse, and this guy was chasing. Immediately, he did major damage to my horse, so I ran away until he hit a phase trick shot to kill him. I was mad, so I knew it was time to trap him. I started running towards the village, and he followed. He was on my tail, so I placed blocks to slow him down. Then I fought him for a bit, and honestly, I was comboing him. But then I ran up into the house, went up the stairs, and I fell down. He chased, and I landed in the water, and he ate the glass. So I jumped down, and I took him out. Minecraft, but I'm stoned. Whenever someone comes to open up this chest, I'm gonna hope that they don't see me. And then when they do open up the chest, I'm gonna take out my shovel and spleef them all the way down. And when they fall down, hopefully they're eliminated. I was disguised as stone, and this guy was coming to the chest. He didn't even notice me. So right when I felt it was right, I spleefed him. He fell all the way down to the bottom and survived. So I put on my armor and I pearled down. Immediately, he tried to run away. I knew he was low, so I quickly chased. After a few hits, I eliminated him. When I jump down this 1x1 hole, I'm gonna land on water. But anyone else who chases is hopefully gonna be finessed by this glass trap. This guy was chasing me, and I was already super low, so I threw an ender pearl and built up. He was looking at me on top of the platform, so I started to twerk to taunt him. Then once I was healed up, I jumped down and ran towards the trap. Once I got there, I was leaning over, and he smacked me right in. I lived, and he was thinking about jumping down, and then he did. I looked down, clicked the lever, and the glass pushed out. He landed and somehow lived, but I quick dropped him. When I jump down this hole, I'm gonna hug this wall, and when I land on this piece of carpet, I take 0 damage. That's because right underneath there's a piece of powdered snow. But if you land anywhere else, you die. This guy in full netherite started to chase me, and I was nervous. I only had diamond armor, so he was doing a bunch of damage. All I had to do was bait him over to the trap. So I kept on running, and he kept on chasing. I started placing blocks behind me until finally I jumped into the trap. I jumped into the corner and landed with no damage, but he landed in the middle and also took no damage. But when we fought, he started to fly, so I froze him. Now for every like this video gets, I'll keep him in prison for 1 hour. This is the easiest skybase trap. When I get to this point in the sky bridge, I'm gonna place down 3 string. Then I'm gonna wait behind this wall and wait for someone to run up. And when they do run up, I'm gonna place this cobblestone down really quickly so that they fall in, and they should be eliminated to fall damage. This guy was chasing me and doing damage, so I chucked a pearl. I was at the top waiting for him to run up. Once I saw his name, I placed the blocks down, and he fell straight in. But then I accidentally fell off as well. Somehow MLG'd and survived, but so did he. So I swung my sword at him a couple times and he was eliminated. Whenever someone chases me, I'm gonna try to get them up this sky bridge. This is super risky because if I fall off, I lose everything. But if the plan goes right, I should be able to just knock them off pretty easily and they'll get eliminated. The guy started chasing me and was doing major damage, so I ran up the sky bridge as quickly as possible. But he wasn't chasing, so I took off my helmet and taunted him. It worked because he started chasing quick. I turned around and placed blocks to slow him down because I was super low. Then I threw an ender pearl up top and I landed at half a heart. I knew this was my only chance, so when I got to the top, I spleefed the cobblestone and I watched my enemy fall all the way down. When someone chases me, I'm gonna pearl through the snow, and my pearl is gonna go right through because it's powdered snow, and then I'm gonna water bucket so that I live. But anyone else who pearls through is gonna be eliminated. I was at the campfire when a full invis randomly put on his armor. He attacked me, but we were super close to the trap, so I wasn't worried. I blocked myself up in a tree and then he broke in. He was on my tail, but I ran towards the trap, chucked the pearl, and I landed inside. Then I took out my water bucket at MLG. When I turned around, he fell down and took no fall damage. He was hacking, and then he started flying. I tried to eliminate him with end crystals, but he killed me. So I came back and froze him. Then I TP'd him into a bedrock box. Now, whenever someone subscribes, a pigman's gonna spawn. The only catch is he gets to use his hacks. This is what happens when 10 people sub at once. I'm gonna pop a speed potion right here, and then I'm gonna jump over this trap. But anyone without speed is not gonna be able to make it, and they're gonna fall all the way down and get eliminated. I was in my igloo when 4 guys popped into the base. I was being jumped. I went out the front door and they all followed. I potted the speed and I jumped over the trap, but I missed and fell down to the bottom. Luckily, I survived, and all of them fell down as well. One of them died, but 3 survived. So I pearled up the wall and tried to build up so I can get out of this situation. They all chased, but I kept on block clutching on the wall, and then out of nowhere, one got eliminated. Now it's a 2v1. I hit another one off the platform and he was eliminated as well. Then I set my sights on the last one. I shot him with poison arrows and then I jumped on top of him. It was an easy fight because all I had to do was crit him out until he was eliminated. Whenever someone tries to teleport to me, they're gonna fall through this powdered snow. This is because when they TP, they don't have leather boots on and I do. Then another guy TP'd to me, so I accepted it and he fell through, but he had an elytra on. I saw him at the bottom trying to fly back up, so I put my netherite boots back on. I was waiting for him to come back and then he flew through the air and hit me off. I was gonna try to MLG water bucket, but I failed. I'm gonna get someone to chase me over this fall trap, and once they fall in, if they don't die, I'm gonna drop as many TNT minecarts as I can until they're eliminated. I was insanely low and this guy wanted to kill me. I tried to build up but kept on failing, so I baited him over to the trap and he fell straight in. I grabbed all the TNT minecarts in my secret chest and placed them down, and then I lit them. But little did I know, they don't work the same anymore and I almost died. So I went down a little farther this time and tried again, but the same thing happened and I fell down to the bottom and we started fighting. He was a lot stronger than me and I was eliminated. I'm at the world border right now, and right now I cannot run through it, but you can pearl through it. If you pearl out here, you take a lot of damage. So the plan is to try and get someone to pearl as far as they can so that they start taking damage from the border until they're eliminated. I baited 2 diamond guys in leather armor and they were doing damage, so I wasted no time and I chucked a pearl right towards the end border. Quickly I switched armor so I take less damage. We were all running back and I was starting to get low, but I had a plan. He hit me once, but then I blew him up. I fell down and I was super low, so I ate a golden crapple and healed up. The next guy came and fought me, but I had better armor and I eliminated him. I'm gonna bait people into this trap and hopefully they fall down here. Then I'm gonna jump down and click this button. As you can hear, a bunch of TNT just lit off. If we look down, it all just blew up and whoever's in there is gonna blow sky high. Heifu was chasing me, so I built up and started a T-pose. This got him mad, so he hit me with a slow moving arrow. Then when I jumped down over the trap, he fell right in. I chucked a pearl up in the air, jumped down the drop down, and clicked the button. And I heard all the TNT spawn. Out of nowhere, I see this guy fly like 100 blocks up in the air. And then he lands right in front of me and he survived until I blew everything up. When someone chases me, I'm gonna jump over this trap and I'm gonna place slabs here. That means anyone else who jumps is gonna fall all the way down into this end portal. I trapped the end portal with obsidian, and while they're trapped in there, I'm gonna place TNT minecarts down and I'm gonna drop them right through the end portal. The guy was chasing me and I was already super low, so I climbed up in a tree and ate a golden crapple. I was healing up and all I had to do was make it to the trap. So I jumped on the tree, placed the slabs, and he fell right in. I wasted no time. I jumped down and I placed down the TNT, broke the block, and it all fell through the portal. On his end, he felt the TNT TNT and was eliminated. In the distance, there's a target. And when I run right here, I'm going to shoot an arrow right at it, hopefully in the first try. And when that happens, a flat ground piston trap is going to open. And anyone who falls in is going to be eliminated. 4 stack players were chasing after me and they stuck me in cobwebs. Once I got unstuck, I made a run for it and slowed them down with cobblestone. They were all trying to shoot and kill me, but I didn't let them. Then I made it to the trap, took 2 shots, and they both landed. The trap opened up twice and everyone fell in. 3 of them died and 1 lived. So I placed down an end crystal and it almost killed me. So the next one I placed down ran away and shot it and it eliminated him. I'm gonna get people to chase me down this hallway. And then when I get to the end, I'm gonna place a slab right here. This is so they can't make it through. And when they're standing right here, I'm gonna pull this lever so that this block comes up. And once they're trapped in here, I'm gonna place some lava and some water to obby trap them. I was at 3 hearts and this guy was chasing me. So I ate a golden crapple and pearled towards the trap. Then I placed a block behind me to slow him down. Once I had the slab down, I knew all I had to do was wait. He fell right for it because I pulled the lever and he was trapped. Then I placed down the lava and the water and he started suffocating. So all I had to do now was hit him until he was eliminated.